My guest tonight was widowed just 2 months ago. In that very short time, he has focused some of his grief on helping other men in similar situations. Now a single parent, Ben Brooks-Dutton is writing a blog which has had more than 55,000 hits worldwide. Ben's wife, Desreen, was killed when she was struck by a car in West Hampstead last November. He is now bringing up his 2-year-old son, Jackson, on his own. He joins me now. People deal with grief in very different ways, especially shock grief like you have experienced. At what point after your wife's death did you decide that writing might help you in some way?
Well, I thought about writing a blog immediately, actually, because I wanted to just get the feelings out of my head and get the emotions out of my head, but I had a lot on my hands. I had a funeral to organise, I had my little boy to look after, so I actually started writing the blog lifeasawidower.com 10 days ago, and it's actually had 100,000 views now. I started a Facebook page for it as well, because I wanted the blog to stay pure about the stories and the emotions I feel, but I wanted to be able to talk around them and talk about the promotion of it on Facebook, so I started a page 2 days ago, and that's got over 2,000 followers already as well.
My goodness, the numbers are just growing as we speak. In the last 24 hours, then it's gone to more than 100,000. An incredible response, and reading some of the response of people, I hate to phrase it like this, but there was clearly some sort of gap in the market for men who are bringing up children on their own in these awful circumstances.
Well, the interesting thing was, I mean, my pure intention was really to set it up for men to challenge their perceptions of grief and show that it's okay to grieve and show that it's okay to feel these feelings, because often men are told to be stoic and have a stiff upper lip and to be strong. And in some of the posts I actually talk about the fact that it's okay to be weak, that maybe people shouldn't say be strong, they should say be weak, because, you know, sometimes you just want to crash and crumble on the floor, and that's fine, because you need to express and convey your emotions. I think what's come out of it since is that a lot of people are sharing their grief on there, not just men, and it's actually allowing people to open up about their grief and face it for the first time as well. But it also, I've had a lot of people come to me and say how much more they appreciate what they've got in life from reading some of the posts, because they are very moving, they're very raw, you know. I'm putting across my raw emotions and showing what they are right now.
It's one thing to deal with your grief. How on earth do you even begin to start dealing with the grief that your little boy is going through? He's 2, he's lost his mummy. It's
very difficult, and the thing that was a big reason why I started it as well. When I was looking into how to deal with him, I was really searching for empathy, and I was trying to find men just like me that had gone through that, to try and find out what their stories were. And that was the thing I noticed. There weren't a lot of people talking about it, there weren't a lot of guys talking about it. So I did an awful lot of reading. I spoke to charities like Winston's Wish, Child Bereavement UK, I spoke to Care for the Family, a number of different charities like Grief Encounter as well. And they've given me an awful lot of advice, but I think really you have to go on your own intuition, because there's only so much people can know about how a toddler grieves, because by the time they're ready to tell you what it felt like, they can't remember. So you have to look at your own child, judge them and think, you know, is this a tantrum or is it grief? And I think I give Jackson the benefit of the doubt every time now. If he is having a tantrum, I show him love and affection. I don't tell him off, because if somebody told me not to grieve right now, it would make me really angry and it would make it worse. So I have to think that he's just like me, but just much smaller and can't express his emotions.
My goodness, what an incredible thing that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And as you say, just a normal 2-year-old, that's very difficult to predict anyway.
And I'm documenting that for other people. What I'm not saying is I'm a counsellor, I'm still in a very early stage of grief. What I'm trying to do is offer consolation, really, is offer advice that I get as it comes in and share it with other people so that they can learn from my experience while it's still raw.
Very briefly, sorry to interrupt there. What do you think your late wife would have thought of what you're doing now?
I know she'd be proud. I know she'd be proud, because I know that she worked in fashion, but she wanted to move on later in her career and help other black women get into the industry and do good, really. So I'm just trying to carry on that legacy for her in a slightly different way.
What a tribute to her, what an incredible tribute, Ben Brooks-Dutton. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you very much.